Anti-aircraft artillery and missile systems on the roofs of government buildings in Moscow. The Russian Panzer systems seem to be supposed to provide air and missile defense for the Russian capital. However, no enthusiasm among Russians is visible on social media.
To take Ukraine in 3 days goes to plan for the 11th month, no doubt. Did people living in Moscow apartment buildings have already received in their utility bills a payment for air defense systems installed on the roof? Air defense systems on the roof are for show-offs, not for safety. Then the question is why. The answer is that the dying regime is preparing provocations involving civilians. It's a well-tested team.
Another air defense system was recently spotted in the village of Zarechye, near Moscow, 10 kilometers from the Putin's residence in Novo-Ogaryovo, and one more in the village of Yashcherovo in the Novgorod region. 6 kilometers from it is also another residence of the Russian president. At first, the State Duma declared that the published photos and videos were not real, but when public interest grew, the Kremlin refused to comment and redirected them to Defense Ministry. There they said that it was a training.
A training with the personnel of an anti-aircraft missile brigade of the Western Military District to repel air attacks on important military, industrial and administrative facilities has been held in the Moscow region, from a message of the Ministry of Defense of the Russian Federation.
Military experts believe that the deployment of air defense may be linked to the Ukrainian development of drones that can fly long distances.
From a military strategic point of view, you can see that from the border directly it's a little more than 500 kilometers. They already know that the strikes were launched on angles 800 kilometers away. And our Ukroboronprom announced at the end of last year that they were testing this drone with a range of more than 1000 kilometers. Therefore, they need to react due to military expediency, and they are organizing air defense.
Installing Panzer systems on the roofs of high-rise buildings is absolutely inexpedient. Yuri Ignat, spokesperson of the Air Force Command of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, said on the air of the Freedom TV channel. This is in fact an easy target for the enemy.
Well, today's weapons, such as drones or missiles, they fly between houses, so being located on the 20th floor is the same as putting a tank there next to it. It doesn't make any sense. Putin's bunker is protected by air defense, not the Russians, not their homes and families, but the bunker of the Russian dictator.
The American Institute for the Study of War suggested that such a demonstrative deployment of air defense system in the center of Moscow is part of an information operation to intimidate Russians. This is how the Kremlin is trying to prepare its citizens for another mass wave of mobilization. Reported by Roman Smoler, Vlada Tsurkan, UATV News.